Alright, so yesterday I spent my entire day ranting or to myself, overthinking about how to set up a website, how to set up the Zen acquisitions funnel page and stuff. I did all of that stuff. I made the so-called logo. I perfected it. I thought, as you know, 2 days ago I called few guys. I booked the appointments, but then I didn't know what to do. Then so that's why I just closed it. I cancelled it in a way. Uh, so I thought, I have it set up. Why should I cold call and stuff? And I wasted the entire day yesterday. Then I got to realize that those aren't important. No, the website, the perfect Gmail, all those, they aren't important at all in a way. I was just thinking about it. No one is actually thinking about how your website looks, at least the clients at the first time, right? They don't care about how your website looks. They don't care about how many reviews do you have, although after a certain point they will care. But if you're starting out with your so-called agency where you alone are working, then it's not an agency. So what I did today, I stopped thinking it like an agency. I started thinking like I'm a freelancer. And as hurtful it feels for myself to think myself as a so-called freelancer, it's more honest than thinking myself to be an agency or an agency owner, and all I'm doing is just making logos and designing my own company's brand, and cold calling without any answer, right? And that would be more honest towards the people too. So what I'm doing right now, in fact, is I am framing myself to be a service provider. Yes, you heard it right. I'm not framing myself to be an agency owner. Until and unless I hire someone, until and unless someone is working under me or working with me in a way, helping me with stuff, till then it's just a glorified agency. And it's better to call it a freelancing model or a freelancer or a service provider than an agency. So stop thinking about what logo should I make, what name should I give to my business, and start doing the work. That is outreach. Now people will feel hurt about it that no, service provider or freelancer has below average or lower. Uh, they can't charge higher in a way, right? Now here's the response to this. What do you think you can charge being an agency who doesn't have any testimonial, who doesn't have any sort of proper agency like structure? So if someone told you like show your team or something, we'll say, oh, it's just me alone. How is it an agency then? Can you just define that? Well, you can't, because it's not an agency in a way, right? So uh, the conclusion which I came to was today that let's just stop faking it. Let's just stop faking it, calling it so-called Zen acquisition and stuff, and let's be more honest. The cold calling stuff, when I started cold calling, the very clear message that I got to understand was that to cold call, to actually get appointments, you need to be honest. When I started out, I used to layer that, saying that hi, how are you, acting like I'm the relative so that I can lure them in my call and then ask for appointment. It never worked, of course. But when I started being more honest, I started with saying, of course, the classic one, hey, let me be honest here, it's just a cold call. If you just have 30 seconds, then you can give me that and I'll tell you what I am calling for. It worked like a charm, of course. And again, there are nuances to this. If you don't have a proper offer, if you are targeting wrong market, whatever, right? But it worked better than previously. Same goes with this one. If we stop acting like we are we are not agency, right? If we stop acting like like we are these glorified agencies, and inside it's just us doing all the work. Literally, we are doing all the work, right? Just a single person, and it's it's more like an alter ego we are creating. Yeah, I said it. It's like more like an alter ego that we are creating to hide behind and make ourselves look uh, more better at a reputation level, right? It's it's not gonna work after a certain point. You yourself will realize it's just not worth it, right? Now tell me how many days you wasted creating a website, thinking about a name, thinking about what website to buy, what how to set up Gmail and all, and ended up wasting, I don't know, 400 500 rupees. If you're from US, then it's 10 to $15, even though it's cheap. If it's not that much, but still you wasted money in that way, right? Now what if you just stopped all of it? You just said that I'm a service provider, accepted that, call them saying that, hey, let me be honest here, I'm selling you something. Don't ever mention that it's an agency. You don't need to even mention that you are a freelancer, right? You just need to mention that I can provide you, instead of we are providing, you can say that I can provide you 10 to 15 for example, my offer, I can provide you 10 to 15 clients within, sorry, 10 to 12 clients within 75 days on paper results basis. Just say that. The back end will be same, the front end in a way it will be same. The only change there will be, it will be the mid end, if that's a term, which is those glorified steps, those websites, those whatever you are creating, right? Those Gmails, those workspace, those unnecessary things that you are creating, those aren't necessary at all after a certain at a certain point, and even after a certain point those aren't necessary until and unless you have clients, you have people working under you. You can't really call yourself an agency. Now, yes, there are nuances to this. Yes, you will find countless examples of where people started with calling themselves agency. And yeah, I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is starting out as a service provider and then slowly becoming an agency, then calling yourself agency. It will be much simpler, it will be much less hectic in a way. And yeah, that is it. That's the whole point of this video. Nothing much. Just a thought of mine. Make sure to comment of what you think, whatever you are thinking right now. You might be rage baited. You might think I'm rage baiting you or whatever. But yeah, these are just some of my thoughts in an essence. And yeah, that is it. Have a great day. See you later.